Hey guys, today we're going to talk about window screens. Now we've been in our house for about 16 years and it's time to switch out these screens. Now this is the door wall screen. As you can see, it's starting to wear. It's these little things. I mean, bugs aren't getting in or anything. And this is actually the third screen since we lived in this house. The first one failed because of the dogs. We had 2 golden retrievers and they scratched it with their nails. I replaced it with a pet screen. And there's different kinds of screens that you can buy. You can buy aluminum, fiberglass. Even within fiberglass, you can buy what they call a pet screen, which if you have kids or dogs, it's almost like a rubberized, thicker material, so it prevents their nails from scratching it. That worked great, but it's not aesthetically pleasing as regular screen. You can see it. So when, unfortunately, we had to put them down, both of them back some years due to health problems, I replaced this with a conventional, better, I think they call them, see-through screens. I'll show you the package. It actually has a name on it. So this has worn out only in this section. Now my other screens are essentially perfect. We're not hard on our home, but look at here. See these horizontal lines all through here? Pretty much all of our windows have that. Now this is from the black. Now these are fiberglass screens and the black is wearing off, so it's time to replace it, not because there's a hole, just so it looks better and it stays neat and clean. And I'm not going to do these all in one day. I'm going to do them myself to save money. I'll show you guys how I'm doing it, but there's a ton of videos on YouTube. But it's time. It's going to make the house look better. I'll show you guys before and after, but right here, this is the before. See these vertical lines? These should all go away. I have, what do I have? This one here, the door wall, and the bay window. The bay window has the 2 smaller ones on either side, and a one, I'll say our standard window for our house. I think it's a 42 or 43 inch window. Essentially that window is in every bedroom upstairs, that same size window, except for our bathroom. It's a teeny tiny one. So I'm going to head and do maybe 1 or 2 a day. We'll see how fast I can do it. And I'm going to show you how I do it. You don't have to do it my way. There's a bunch of other videos on YouTube, but this is just one of those things that all these little things matter on maintaining your home and keeping it like new condition. Let's go ahead and get to work. So guys, this one's giving me some trouble. When I go to pull it out of the track, there's not a lot of clearance. I'm going to go ahead and clean it in place. Not a big deal. This side don't even move anyway. I just have to clean it from the other side, so I just have to reach a little further. So pick your battles, and this one I'm going to give in to the window. So here's what I need to replace the screen. The screen itself, this is a 48 inch by 25 foot roll. The reason I bought this size roll is because I have a lot of 42 inch windows. They do make this in different lengths as far as the roll goes, as well as a shorter one if you have a bunch of small windows. This is a fiberglass. As you can see, clear advantage. This is supposed to be better to see through. And then I also have just a razor blade to cut it, trim it, a screwdriver for the spline, and the spline tool. The spline tool has 2 different sides. One is a, I don't know, convex or convex, basically one protruding so that you can kind of push in the groove. And the other one actually has a concave or a groove to help you push in the spline. So that's what this is. To get started, we're gonna go ahead and pull the spline out. If it's still good, we can reuse it. If it's bad, we'll have to replace it. I did pick up a couple packages just in case some of this is dry rotted, but I think we'll be able to reuse, if not most of it, all of it. So I'm gonna start off in the corner and just work my way out. Just pried it out a little bit, as you can see. I'm gonna go ahead and pull. Oh, yeah, I guess I'm going to have to replace this spline, so I'm glad I picked up a couple. It just ripped off. It just gets brittle. Now it depends on the window. And this one faces a lot of sun, so that's probably why it broke. The sun kills all. Actually, I might be able to still reuse this. The splines are about $2 or $3 if you're buying the smaller rolls. You can buy a big one on Amazon. I haven't tried it, but I'll go ahead and leave a link in case you guys are interested. Yeah, so only a little piece broke. I'm gonna go ahead and try to reuse it. I'm cheap, so. So brittle, it's just disintegrating. And this is not normal. This is definitely not normal. Usually it pops right out of the channel. This is like almost like glued into the channel. It's kind of weird. Never had a, I don't know if it's from the age or what, but it's actually, I don't know if you guys see this, actually like locked in to the channel. I'm gonna have a hell of a time trying to clean this up. I'm gonna have to use a screwdriver or something to kind of pull it out from this channel, because the new stuff might not, if I get most of it out, it should be okay, but wow, it's so brittle, it just ripped apart. So this project just got interesting. The other interesting thing from the manufacturer, it's got a spline here or a groove here where you can put another spline. They didn't use that, probably because it's a smaller window. I don't know if I will or not, but yeah, if you guys can see this. Give me a closer shot. So it basically is like affixed to the screen, almost like it was glued. Very crazy. So I'm gonna have to work on getting it out of the channel. That's gonna take me a long time, so let's figure this out. Guys, this is not the norm. Normally you take the screen out, I've done it before, and the screen pops up. This is just crazy that it like glued itself with the sun to the frame over the years. Worst comes to worst, you can buy new screens, but you know, this is a fraction of the cost. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep working on this. And again, I think I'm only gonna have one more window that's gonna be a problem. Just more of a reason to do this more often than not. Don't wait 16 years. I probably should have done this about 7, 8 years ago. But it is what it is. So that should be good enough. We're gonna go ahead and place our middle track back in. If I can get it to come out, there's these little clips. One side in. 31.5, so it's 15.5 inches on the center. Quite a bit off. Cut it so I don't waste any. I'm gonna leave a little bit of an overhang, and starting off in this corner, I'm gonna go ahead and put my spline in. First, let me put my tool. Now I'm gonna take the tool that has not the groove in it, but the one that's just a, you know, a regular I don't know, protrudes rather than concaves. And I'm gonna go ahead and starting from the bottom, I'm gonna go ahead and put me a groove in here all the way down. Gets me something for that spline to sit in. Okay. And I'm gonna use my broken one because I want it on the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my broken spline in that channel groove here. And this time I'm gonna use the one that has the concave. Just basically the reason is so that doesn't slip out. And I'm gonna go ahead and work it down in there. This is very questionable, this spline, but I'm cheap and it's about, I think, $3 a window to buy a new spline. So for me, if it would have fell apart more, I would have trashed it, but I think we're good since it only fell in that one spot. So I haven't done a window in years, guys, so if I can do it, you can do this. I want to try to keep this kind of straight, and then once I do this, we're going to pull this window, or pull the screen a little more tight or taut. And I'm going to use this tool again. I lost my little groove here. So I'm going to set this in. And go and push. I'm putting pretty good amount of pressure here. I'm going to go ahead and work my way down. Feed it as you go. Nothing's gonna get tight with this first one because where your tension comes in is when you start to put these corners in, it starts to pull, because as you push down, it'll bind and it'll make it nice and tight. So I'm going to continue working down. Same thing, I'm going to use the one that doesn't have the concave, just the regular size. So I'm going to make my groove. And I'm just going to kind of, I'm not pulling it tight or anything, I'm just kind of getting it a little bit so it's not too sloppy. You don't want it too tight. Again, but you won't want it too loose too. I'm using my screwdriver, just push in that corner to make that corner a nice 90. Just switch over the concave, and I'm just gonna work this in here. Find my groove, set my spline in just to kind of get a track going. It doesn't want to sit in there too well. That's okay. I want to make sure I got a decent amount of tension on this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and make my groove. I don't want any sloppiness. Didn't go all the way in on that side yet. I'm gonna wait because what I'll do is I'll go around the whole thing again and push down harder, and that'll even pull it in a little bit tighter. And this one I want decently tight. What some people do, I'll show you a trick. I'm gonna go grab some duct tape. You don't need much. This is Gorilla Tape. And what you can do is just to get a little bit more tension if you're doing this by yourself. If you have help, you can use them to kind of hold things. If not, see how I did that? Just kind of pulls it just a little tighter. Just a little bit. I'm gonna go this way with it. That's probably what I should have done on that end. Just a little bit more surface area. Just, you don't need a ton of tension. You know, you don't want to stretch it too much, but that's maybe one more piece in the middle. There we go. That should be about perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and do this last one. Too much. I'm gonna have to relieve some of that pressure over here. I don't want to rip. This is fiberglass. I want to rip it. It's too much tension. It's not good. There we go. To move a little bit. Now I'm careful because I don't want to get too crazy right here. I don't want it to cut into the screen. I'm just making a little channel like that. I almost cut into the screen. Okay, unless you're perfect in every way, you're gonna have a little short or a little bit too much, and I have a little bit too much, and I'm just gonna go ahead and cut that off with my razor blade. So now I'm just gonna finish rolling it using the convex section here, and this is just gonna get it tight. It's gonna push that screen all the way in. Careful not to hit the screen material. Now I don't. This chair probably wasn't really worth it, but, and to make my life a little easier, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this now. Go over this a little bit more. All I'm gonna do is take a sharp new blade, and I'm gonna cut on this side of the spline. I'm gonna get a nice clean cut. That is it, guys. Finished screen. Looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and pop it in now. There we go. I know the light has changed, guys, but no vertical lines. Nice and tight. Looking good. So that's it. Fairly easy project. You just a couple simple tools, take your time, and typically the screen does not adhere, or the material does not adhere to the aluminum frame. If it does, you just got to work at it a little bit. It took me an extra, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes to get the old screen off of the aluminum frame. But one down, I don't know, about 7 or 8 more to go, but it's a good start to a project. And this is just a way to keep things looking new, keep things looking fresh. because even though your house is getting older in age, there's no reason it has to look old. So that's it, guys, for this video. Hope it helps someone, and that's it. Have a good night. Take care. Bye.